Ice and Fire by Edmund Spenser. My love is like to ice, and I to fire. How comes it then that this her cold so great is not dissolved through my so heart desire, but harder grows the more I her entreat? Or how comes it that my exceeding heat is not allayed by her heart frozen cold, but that I burn much more in boiling sweat, and feel my flames augmented manifold? What more miraculous thing may be told, that fire which all things melts should harden ice, and ice which is congealed with senseless cold should kindle fire by wonderful device? Such is the power of love in gentle mind, that it can alter all the course of kind. Edmund Spenser was born in London around 1552. As a young boy, he was educated in London at the Merchant Taylors' School, and later on went to become a Caesar at Pembroke College, Cambridge. Little is known about his experiences at Cambridge other than the fact that he was able to acquire a bachelor and a master's degree in a very small time. In the early 1590s, Spenser wrote a prose pamphlet titled A View of the Present State of Ireland. This piece remained in manuscript until its publication and print in the mid-17th century. It is probable that it was kept out of print during the author's lifetime because of its inflammatory content. The pamphlet argued that Ireland would never be totally pacified by the English until its indigenous language and customs had been destroyed, if necessary by violence. He served with the English forces during the Second Desmond Rebellion, in which he recommended scorched earth tactics such as the ones that he was able to use to create a famine. Although it has been highly regarded as a piece of prose and valued as a historical source in the 16th century Ireland, the views are often seen as genocidal in today's standards. Spenser first entered Ireland in July of 1580 in the service of the newly appointed Lord Deputy Arthur Grey, after which he was able to have his poetry extend further into other countries and be able to progress in a further way. It started at Raleigh's company when he was going to deliver his most famous work, The Faerie Queene. However, he boldly antagonized the Queen's principal secretary, Lord Boyle, and all he received in recognition of his work was a pension in 1591. In 1589, he married his first wife, Macabias Clyde. Soon afterwards, he returned to Ireland to settle in the year of 1591 and wrote Colin Clouts. He became a landowner and returned to London only to supervise the publication of his poetry. He married again to Elizabeth Boyle in 1594, and his poems Emeraude and Epithamilion celebrated the wooing and the marriage. Spenser's Epithamilion is the most admired of its type in the English language. It was written specifically for his young bride, Elizabeth Boyle. The poem consists of 365 long lines corresponding to the days of the year, 68 short lines representing the sum of the 52 weeks, 12 months, and 4 seasons of the annual cycle, and the 24 stanzas used to correspond to the hours and the 24-hour block. Later on, during the 9 Years' War in 1598, Spenser was driven from his home by the native Irish forces of O'Neill. His castle at Kilcumin near Doneraile in North Cork was burned, and it is thought that one of his infant children died in the blaze, and many other local people state that his wife may have also died. He possessed a second holding to the south at Rennie, on a rock overlooking the River Blackwater in North Cork. The ruins of it are still visible today. A short distance away grew a tree locally known as Spenser's Oak, until it was destroyed in a lightning strike in the 1960s. Many people in the area have also stated that they believe that some or all of the Faerie Queene is underneath this tree. Queen Victoria is said to have visited this tree while staying in nearby Covenmore House during her state visit to Ireland. In the year after being driven from his home, Spenser traveled to London, where he died in distressed circumstances in the year of 1599, age 46. It was arranged for his coffin to be carried by other poets, upon which they threw many pens and pieces of poetry into his grave with many tears. Spenser was considered a poet's poet and was admired by William Wordsworth, John Keats, Alfred Lord Tennyson, and many other great poets of the day. The language of his poetry was beautiful and reminiscent of earlier works, such as the Canterbury Tales of Geoffrey Chaucer, whom Spenser greatly appreciated and looked up to, and was able to use as an inspiration for his work. The fact is that Spenser was a man who was able to paint the English language and turn it into art. He was able to use his 158 poems and sonnets to bring out the good feelings in people and to understand beauty and allow people to feel a world beyond themselves and to know that there is something greater than what we just consider to be a simple language. To him, he saw something that was able